JK Peace Review.
Alright y'all, in the last video we went over what I call the low confidence build, both team and solo. This is my higher skill cap and what I consider one of the highest DPS builds in the game. That can also be used team or solo, and I'll go over all of that. Before we even get into the build, I'm going to show you why this is one of the highest DPS builds in the game. Let me show you how quick you shoot. A trick most people don't realize is you can actually shoot and reload at the exact same time, increasing your rate of fire a huge amount. So DPS in this game, there's no charts online, and I've done it for the math on some of them. If you want some of those spreadsheets, I can help you out. Is the amount of time it takes for you to empty your clip, reload, and empty the next clip. You have to consider that reload speed, and that's why this is a relatively medium DPS gun. But once you include that ability to shoot and reload at the same time, your DPS skyrockets. Alright, now that we've got that out of the way, that little tip and trick, let's go over why this build is so good. So first, we run Hunter's Pistol with Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark for any trash clearing is one of the best in the game. It's going to be roughly a 20% DPS increase. Most mods only give you about that, 20 to 40%, so it's on the lower end of what the DPS increase is, but it gives you situational awareness. And with this build, you can pick off so many mobs before they even get to you, thin half of a pack of mobs before they get to you, and that absolutely is crucial. The situational awareness is better for survivability than just about anything else. Knowing you're about to fight an elite is huge. Now, obviously, if you're against a boss, I would switch this out for either Swarm or Breath of the Desert. Actually, I would run both of them if I'm versus a boss, but if I'm not versus a boss, just run Hunter's Mark. Now we're going to run Crossbow. Now, Crossbow is slightly more DPS than Hunter's Pistol, but Hunter's Pistol reloads slightly quicker, so it's a little bit better for trash clear. Just slightly quicker versus that. Alright. So, either one. Melee weapon doesn't matter if you melee. I never melee, so good on you if you do. Assassin set. Slayer set. 10% reload increase is basically a 10% damage increase with this weapon, because your shot to fire and reload is instantaneous, so all of your DPS is reload speed. So that's a 10% increase plus 35% increase. That's a 45% DPS increase with this. That competes with the Radiant set, and Radiant is high DPS, but it's only good with a couple of weapons that are pretty shitty, pretty lame. Excuse my language. So that is that. It's not the highest DPS, but you are medium roll. You always want to be in the medium roll category. Light is good, but it's within 10%, if not exactly the same. So as far as distance go and recovery animation go, you just want to be in medium. You don't want to go heavy or above. Guns. Now, again, why this build scales damage so well is the reload trick, and then Empowering Loop is the highest damage ring in the game. 30% damage increase, but it reduces rate of fire by 20%. Well, we don't have a rate of fire. Our rate of fire is 0, so we're reducing 0 by 20%. So it's just a 30% damage increase. You can tag that with the second highest DPS ring in the game, 25% damage increase. And then Gunslinger Charm. Now this would actually be a huge DPS increase for any other gun, because you also get rate of fire with it, which is 10%. So, but this is getting a straight 25% increase, as our 25% increase on the assault rifle and reload speed isn't a 25% increase in DPS. It's more like a 7% DPS increase, because it takes you 3 seconds to shoot, a second and a half to reload. It's not the same as where this is 0 seconds to shoot, 1.5 seconds to reload. So this is a straight 25% DPS increase. So it is absolutely massive as far as damage goes. And then for your other mod, you can either use Breath of the Desert or Swarm. Breath of the Desert is higher burst damage. Swarm is higher sustained damage. I switch back and forth between them. Basically, it's just what I feel like playing with. For a while, I ran Swarm because I assumed the corrosive damage would actually apply the corrosive debuff to enemies. English, Joshua, let's go do this. It does not. It doesn't. Just like if you have a fire weapon, it will not light them on fire. Only if it says it'll apply the burning effect will it apply that. So the corrosive aura applies corrosive, but corrosive damage does not. Corrosive or radiation damage does not apply the radiation debuff to them. You can tell that they're corroded because they actually get a little green aura around them. So that is this build. I'll actually... Oh, and the other thing that makes why this is... Even if this isn't the highest DPS build in the game, which it very well may be, one of the biggest things for this build is you can shoot and dodge, and you're reloaded by the time you come out of your dodge animation. So, as where other guns, you need to sit there shooting for your DPS to be good. This gun, you can just... oops, sorry. You can just... shoot and reload, as where every time I dodge, I'm losing DPS. You don't lose DPS by rolling into this, if you actually time things properly. So, that is a huge reason for this build, and I'll actually show you how it rolls. I'm going to show you both in the church because we get a mix of elites and trash mobs. And the main complaint for a build like this is it doesn't reload, or you don't shoot fast enough to clear trash mobs. Well, with this reload trick, that is no longer true. So first, I always try and get my Hunter's Mark up. You don't use the Hunter's Mark until you get to about the 60-second mark, and then you apply it. Back to the aim. Alright, got a Hunter's Mark. I'm going to switch back to crossbow, because the crossbow is a little bit higher damage, and I want to give enough breath to the deadly stack to take out the first elite as we come. It is surprisingly hard to talk about the build and I'm going to set my sniper build at the same time, but we're getting the point. How you can just shoot, dodge, so you should basically never be in a situation where you're unhappy, where you're not dodging. So you see how I wasn't even looking at that guy, but just because I had been dodge rolling, I instantly dodged him. Not an issue. Alright, so we got a couple of elites coming up. Arrows, see that? I even one-shot that him. We're doing 4k damage. Now let's use our mod power and see how quick we take him out, and dead. So this build is just, this is nightmare mode, nightmare hardcore, so doesn't get more difficult than this. So if you can handle this, you can handle anything. Touch his head there, not quite. Alright, well that's the build. You guys get the idea on the video here, so you don't get bored, but and the video doesn't look too long. Let me know if you have any questions. If you do need any help farming these items, hit me up, and I am happy to assist you. It really only takes maybe an hour, hour and a half to get to the Undying King, to farm some of this stuff, so hit me up, post in the comments. If you're playing on PC, I play on PC, so let me know. Alright, thanks guys, have a good one.